All right, hey, well, welcome into this class. We're happy to have you as a new patient, and this is by far of all the classes I do, I feel this is the most important one that we do because we want to make sure you get the best results in our practice, and we want to set the tone early on in care. This is a class we used to do in person. It's more convenient now to do by video. We call this the doctor's report or our new patient orientation class. And essentially, we want to lay the foundation so that you're going to get the best results you can. You're going to get the fastest results possible. And ultimately, people who understand their care more and how your adjustments are helping you not only maybe get out of pain, but live your healthiest you can possibly be at. And for some of you, you're going to be so much healthier than you may have been in your whole life. I want you to understand how that process works and what we're doing with your adjustments. Because you're gonna have friends and family asking, like, why are you doing so well? How is this chiropractic stuff working? And patients who understand their care better, ultimately they get better results. Just like you understand the importance of brushing your teeth, so you do it every day. The same is going to be true of your health and your wellness and taking care of your body as a whole. So as we get in here, I'm gonna do some screen sharing. And first off, I'll just show you my family. My family is, we live what I call the chiropractic lifestyle. Um, we live naturally as much as we can, and we do supplementation. We eat organic. We cook great meals for our family. When we're sick, we're not running for medications. We're doing supplements. We're getting our adjustments. We all get adjusted at least once a week. And I've been lucky enough to get chiropractic care my entire life because my mom took me as a kid. My wife suffered with migraines her whole life until she was an adult in her 30s and luckily found a chiropractor. That was before we met. My children have been adjusted since the first day they were born. And so that's what I want to share with you is that chiropractic lifestyle. I get that people come to our office very often because they're in pain or they have headaches or neck pain or sciatic pain. And that's great. You need to be in our office. This is the best place for you to be. Chiropractic is by far the most effective. It's the safest form of healthcare that there is. But beyond that, we want you to experience your optimal health. And our patients within our practice, it's like a lifeboat that helps people live their healthiest. And as we go through your care in my practice, you're going to hear these stories and testimonials of how people's lives and their health are being changed. The statistics are very bad right now. I'll go through some of these in our community. So, like right now, I'm at my practice in Sussex. I can look out, there's a gas station, there's rows of houses, and right now within this community, 60% of the adults are living with at least one chronic disease, whether that's heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, lung problems. 30% of all children have a chronic disease. That used to be unheard of. 40% of people living in our community are expected at some point in their life to be diagnosed with cancer. Right now, the obesity rate is at 40% of Americans, and it used to be just 15% back in 1980. The one thing that really stands out that most people don't know is that there's only 1 or 2%, okay? 1 or 2% of all disease has a genetic cause, things like cystic fibrosis, Down syndromes, Huntington's disease. So a lot of times your doctors will say, well, it's genetic, it runs in your family. What I would encourage you to do is say, okay, doc, well, what gene? What test did you do to show me that it's that particular gene? What really runs in our family is our lifestyle choices. So we back in the 80s, it was hopeful we're going to find all these genetic causes and cure these diseases. Well, that hasn't happened. What we learned is that it's not your genes that cause disease, it's your lifestyle and how your lifestyle affects your disease, affects your genetics. That's why we can see people transform their health and get healthier and lose weight and get off of medications because you're able to change your genetic expression. Right now, in the last 40 years, Alzheimer's and dementia has doubled. That should scare you. Those are diseases that are preventable. we go back 100 years, it was extremely rare. So in the last 40 years, for something to double, it cannot be genetic. All that's changed is our lifestyle, our environments, the things we put in our body. In the past 40 years, chronic neck pain and back pain has doubled. Again, that is not a genetic problem. Migraines have increased 40% in the last 40 years. On the average, migraines cost people $8,000 annually. And autism right now, this is really sad. It's estimated that 1 in 31 children. When I was 20 years old, it was 1 in 150. If we go back, it was 1 in the thousands. There used to be this debate and this argument that we know more and we're able to report it more, but even the experts now say no, that may attribute to some of the numbers going up, but the reality is it's skyrocketing, and doctors really don't have control on this, on what's causing this. So what I want to tell you is this is not happening in our practice. In our practice, people are getting healthier. We're helping people get off medications. We don't want you to be the person who's on 3 or 4 medications as you get older and you're just getting sicker and just managing your health. We see this in our families. Unfortunately, I've seen it in my family. My dad, I remember when he went, let's say the 1990s. I remember that era where the doctors, well, his numbers weren't in range when he got blood work done. So of course they gave him a stent. They gave him blood pressure pills, blood thinners, just because of his numbers. That's all they looked at. I remember I was a personal trainer when I got out of my undergrad school. And when I was educating my dad on here's how you should eat, we got to get you exercising. The doctors literally they told him, your diet's not going to make much of a difference at all. You can try it. And they told him to take it easy and not to work out. And unfortunately, my dad did everything they said. He still had a stroke and died in the hospital because of that stroke. And we can all think of people like that, where if we could go back and say, hey, I've seen the future. You're going to have a stroke in a year or in 10 years. You need to make a change now. Otherwise, that's going to be your outcome. We all have loved ones that we wish we could do that for. So we don't want to see you live that way. We want to see you live optimal health. So I'm going to show you here how we do that, why our patients are so healthy. We're going to talk about your nervous system a lot. Your nervous system, if we looked at the medical textbooks, and all doctors, we read the same textbooks on how the body works. We just all have a different opinion on how we should take care of you. We have different opinion on optimal health. We don't want you, health is not the absence of disease and symptoms, and health is not taking 4 or 5 medications. Health is being able to function optimally and live your life. And so if we looked in those textbooks, they're going to tell us that your nervous system is your master system, meaning it controls the other systems. It runs your immune system, your hormonal system, your digestive system, your ability to move. Everything is controlled by your nervous system, which is your brain, your spinal cord. Your spinal cord is literally an extension of your brain. It's one big unit. And then the billions of nerves that go out to every cell in your body. That's the only way your body knows what to do. When you get a virus, when you are in sunlight, if it's hot or if it's cold, when you're angry, your nervous system is what processes everything. We know now the germ theory isn't even accurate. We could take 100 people, expose them all to the flu virus, and they're not going to all get sick. In fact, very few will actually get sick. The ones that get sick are the ones that are vulnerable, meaning something's not right. They're already in a diseased or a compromised health state to where their nervous system and their immune system can't mount the defense that they need. And so in chiropractic, we look at your body and we see that it's self-healing, it's self-regulating, but the only way your nervous system can work is if the nervous system can work is if it's free of interference. And I like to use the term interference because your nervous system is a communication hub. It's what's talking from the body to the brain. So think of if your cell phone has interference, you can't hear what the other person is saying. There's dysfunction in that communication. Well, this is what we found during your exam. We found that you have vertebral subluxations in your spine. These are misalignments that cause interference to how those nerves are working. These subluxations rarely cause pain. You should hope that they do so that you go get care right away. But unfortunately, people will say, my neck didn't hurt, my low back didn't hurt. They thought everything was fine. If you go to your primary doctor and if you don't tell them your neck hurts or your back hurts, they're going to think that it's fine. They're just going to assume that it's healthy. But what we saw with your exam, with your x-rays, is that wasn't the case. And for some of you watching this, you may have been shocked when I said, hey, you have 10, 20, 30 years of problems with your spine and subluxation that have been eroding your health from the inside out that you didn't even know about it because we feel very little of what's actually happening in our body. So our goal is we want to get rid of the interference to your nervous system. If you take a look at this picture, if we take a person, we start misaligning the bones in their spine, they're going to disease and they're going to have problems. So how are these subluxation caused? Well, they're caused through physical stress, chemical stress, mental stress. The physical stress that we go through, whether those are traumas or accidents and falls in sports, sitting all day, sitting in this hunched over posture is terrible for our spine and our nervous system and our brain and our heart and our lungs. But we all have mental stress that we carry in our body, chemical stress from all the toxins in our food and our environment, or maybe the medication and the side effects. And so our job is to find where that interference is in your body, along your spine. I'm going to adjust your spine to correct those subluxations and allow your body to heal and function the way it should. Think of it this way. If you were a plant and you have wilting leaves, we want to give you water, we want to give you sunlight, and then let the plant do what it's supposed to do. Well, very similar. We want to remove what's interfering with your body working optimally, and you're going to start getting better and better and better. And not only will pain go away, your function is going to increase, and you're going to be far healthier than when you first came in to my practice. So, one thing I want you to keep in mind are the people around you. As I get to the end of this class, I'll give you an opportunity. People always want to send in their family and their friends as they begin to learn about chiropractic because they get excited and they know that it's the answer that they need to be healthier. But think of the people at your home, in your home, in your workplace. We want to make sure we're not leaving them behind. There's people that desperately need what we do. So please keep those people in mind and tell them to come in. And we will always make it affordable for them to come in and get evaluated and see for themselves the condition of their health and their spine and what they could potentially be. Now, on top of the chiropractic care, we're going to be doing nutritional counseling as needed for you. We offer lifestyle classes. I coach people on how they should exercise and move. So we want your entire life to be healthier and optimal. We want you to eat well. We want you to move well. We want you to sleep well. We want your nervous system to work properly. And I always tell you, you have 24/7 support with me. You can call or text me anytime. And if I don't answer, it's because I'm sleeping or maybe I'm with my family. But please reach out anytime. I will definitely always get back to you if I need to set up a call. I have patients that have a million nutrition questions. We will just set up a phone call and I will sit there and answer all of your questions. But I want you coming to all of the classes that we provide. If you have some place where I can come speak at your work, we do lunch and learns. We come buy you lunch. Please invite me. It helps me reach more people. Lastly, I'll just show you some examples. And you're going to see more of these as we go through care, but this is a common one. Someone comes in with migraines and we do our evaluation. You can see on the bottom all that red, that's interference and disturbance to this person's nervous system, chronic migraines. Within 3 months, we cleared that out. She's not living with migraines anymore. She's able to go weeks and just feel amazing. She's able to now exercise. She's able to be a mom, sleep better. These are the type of people that we take care of. This is a really sad one. This is a patient who had POTS. She's only 17 years old, and what I'm seeing now is on the right. This is her spine. It's straight as an arrow. It should have that nice curve. She already has the degeneration of what used to be a 45, 50-year-old person. Now we see it in teenagers. I'm seeing it in 20-year-olds. It's really bad what's happened because of our lifestyle and our phones and our technology. is your spine and the people you know, your spine and your nervous system is under tremendous stress and they are literally disintegrating. They're breaking down and degenerating. And it's no wonder chronic disease is on the increase. Yet, with all of our medical science, with all of our fundraising, with all the doctors we have, people are still getting sicker. They need chiropractic care. Um, so please refer in the people closest to you. Within your first 2 weeks of care, or essentially watching this video, anybody who lives in your household, I don't care who they are, if they live with you, they can come in for a free new patient evaluation. We're going to do their scans, we're going to do their x-rays, we're going to do a full report of everything that we found, and then they can decide what they want to do with it. I always tell patients you have the opportunity to start care. If you don't want to, that's up to you, but at least you deserve to know what is going on with your spine and nervous system, especially before it's too late. Because the reality is, when there is interference to your nervous system, over time, your body is going to break down and it's going to disease. And there's not a medication on this planet that can fix poor lifestyle, that can fix subluxation. There's not a surgery. It's estimated that anywhere from 80 to 90% of all disease is caused by our lifestyle choices and our environments, and our spinal health is a big part of that. I think it's probably more than 90%. As we're learning, genetics don't cause disease for the vast majority of us. It's our lifestyle, it's the condition of our body and how it's breaking down. But we've got chiropractic care. We're going to do fantastic work for you and potentially your family. We want to take care of them. Watch as we go through your care now. Watch for our emails, watch for our classes. Text me if you need anything. You're going to do amazing with your care. We're happy that we're able to serve you. And so if you need anything, please reach out to me and I'll see you the next time office. Take care.